Hello. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. I'm a lucky man, the luckiest host on television. I have Julie Andrews tonight, okay? That is a blessing. And folks, the presidential election is only 5 days away. Count them, 5. To remember this, I wrote it down. 5. But it looks like everyone's remembering this year because early turnout is at record levels. And according to odds makers, the 2020 election is the most bet-on event in history. Okay, that I don't understand. Are the stakes really not high enough already that you got to bet on it too? That's like your skydiving instructor saying, "No before-way jump. Anyone want to place a bet on whether the chute opens? How about it, $10? Let's make it interesting." Now, COVID-19 is the biggest issue in this election, next to daddy issues. And COVID cases are exploding all over the country, which brings it to tonight's installment of our possibly running till 2022 segment, Catch a Third Wave, Endless Bummer.
Let me wash over you. Whoa, sick. Whoa, yeah.
Get out! Get out! Currently, cases are rising in more than 40 states, and when it comes to the West and Midwest, the coronavirus task force warns of unrelenting broad community spread. Also the theme of Trump's campaign rallies. Now, as the campaign draws to a close, Trump and Biden are pushing opposing pandemic strategies. Biden is pushing viral containment, while Trump is pushing your grandma into traffic. The differences are evident in their stump speeches. Here's Biden yesterday in the swing state of Wilmington, Delaware.
Even if I win, it's going to take a lot of hard work to end this pandemic. I'm not running in the false promise of being able to end this pandemic by flipping a switch.
He's right. We're not going to end this pandemic by flipping a switch. We're going to do it by pulling a lever and then flipping the bird. Meanwhile, Trump's platform consists of nothing but false promises.
The safe vaccine is coming very quickly. You're going to have it momentarily.
Momentarily. That's what they tell you when it's going to be a long time, but they don't want you to walk out of the Olive Garden. In fact, when you call the CDC, you get this message now.
Thank you for calling the CDC. Your lungs are important to us. Please remain locked in your house, and the vaccine will be with you in the order you were diseased.
Trump assured his supporters the pandemic is almost over.
We're rounding the turn regardless. Normal life will fully resume. That's what we want, right? Normal life. We just want normal life. Like we had 7 months ago.
Yeah, I miss those pre-pandemic days of waking up to find out what country Trump had blackmailed, which porn star he had paid off, and which hurricane he was threatening to nuke. You know, normal. Trump thinks that the way forward is to achieve something called herd immunity, a terrible idea, where the majority of the population catches the disease, millions die, but those who survive will be able to walk among us safely, as Trump demonstrated with fellow superspreader Rand Paul.
Thank you. Here's to immunity.
To immune people.
Yes, the immune people, super douches who don't care if you live or die. They're the Echmen. Thank you, Mad Magazine. Strangely, Trump's blatant disregard for human life seems to be hurting him with the key demographic of humans. The latest ABC News, Washington Post, P.F. Chang's Great Wall of Chocolate poll shows that Biden is leading Trump by 17 points in Wisconsin. 17? Trump doesn't know whether to be worried about that lead or to start dating it.
He wishes you well, Ghislaine.
That's not just Wisconsin. Trump is playing catch-up in lots of states he won in 2016. Even though Trump won it 4 years ago, Biden holds a 48-44 lead in Arizona. But it's a dry lead. Anyway, yesterday, Trump held a rally in the Copper State, which I am being assured is what Arizona is. And he railed against the author of the 2018 anonymous New York Times op-ed saying that Trump was out of control, who we found out yesterday was some guy.
He wrote a phony book. Was just basically, if you heard about Anonymous, it was like somebody that was right next to me. I thought it might have been Hope Hicks. He was right. I thought it might have been Jared. I thought it might have been Mike Lee. I was worried. From the great state of Utah. I was extremely worried about Rand Paul. Maybe it was Rand.
That is a weird thing to say. That's a unforced error is what you call that. Now that the mystery's solved, I want to make it abundantly clear, I do not trust my son-in-law or any of these people around me. They all know things that if they spilled their guts, I'd be gone in a minute. It's a nest of highly knowledgeable vipers, and I am just so thankful that none of them has a conscience or I'd be in real trouble. And Trump wasn't alone. He also brought some special guests like Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who fantasized about taking back the House.
I want you to watch Nancy Pelosi hand me that gavel. And I promise you this. I won't bang her with it, but I'll bang the end to the socialism.
Kevin, no one wants to hear who or what you're going to bang, okay? We also don't want to hear about you licking communism or how Medicare for all is going down. It's coronavirus time, okay? Just stay at home, bang your own gavel with the Zoom off. Trump also welcomed up Arizona Senator Martha McSally. They had kind of a tricky relationship, those two, because Trump isn't too popular in Arizona right now, and she's been hesitant to fully endorse him on the campaign trail. Let's see if he noticed.
Martha, McSally, Martha. Great. Martha, great. Martha, come up just fast. Quick, come. Fast, come on, quick. You got 1 minute. 1 minute, Martha's sake. They don't want to hear this, Martha. Come on, let's go. Quick.
That is rude, but also kind of refreshing. Usually it's the woman who's telling Trump to hurry up and just get this over with. Trump really has a lot of territory to defend because Joe Biden is making a late-stage play for Texas. That's right, we're going for it, Jack. Everything's bigger in Texas. Remember the Alamo. Also, remember where I put my glasses. Never mind, they're in front of my eyes. Always the last place you look. Come on. Give me some of that big toast. Huh? Joe could get Texas. That would be so unexpected, but so great. Like if Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga became a real couple. We all wanted it so bad, they almost kissed at the Oscars. They could have danced to Shallow at their own wedding. Come on, I'm off the deep end. That deep end line wasn't in the final draft. That got added after I left the room. I like it, but that came as a surprise. But if Biden doesn't snag Texas, the electoral map could come down to Pennsylvania, which is why Trump is making a huge effort to get out the vote there. I'm sorry, I misread that. Throw out the vote there. Because trailing in the polls in Pennsylvania, Trump's campaign is trying to make voting harder, and it's already hard enough there. In some parts of Pennsylvania, there's nose-to-tail buggy traffic before you even get to the voting barn, which you have to raise. Trump's team is trying to stop the state from counting absentee and mail-in votes, presenting garbage evidence of voter fraud like this. During the Democratic primary this year, a man named Adam Goodman posted this photo on Instagram in which he proudly held up 2 mail-in ballots outside a drop box. Because one of those belonged to his husband, standing just out of frame. Nevertheless, he soon found that the picture had been included in litigation the Trump campaign filed against Philadelphia. That's right, the Trump campaign is scanning Instagram to try to shut down voting. Your Honor, as you can see in Exhibit A, just before Halloween, the defendant's dog put on a clever astronaut disguise, obviously in order to vote illegally from dog space. Feeling anxious about Tuesday's upcoming election, as I am? You're not alone. According to a recent study, nearly 70% of U.S. adults say the presidential election is a significant source of stress. That's okay. Just take deep cleansing breaths to forget about the election and just focus on how many coronavirus you just inhaled. And Democrats aren't the only ones worried out there. According to one mental health expert, although the specific concerns do differ based on political leaning, the feelings that are coming up don't, which is why there's suddenly a groundswell of support for a third-party ticket, Prozac Ambien 2020, Make America, what were we talking about again? That's what's going on up here in the old squirrel cage. What were we? What am I reading? Who are you? What? Why am I not in the theater? What's going on? Two researchers have developed a measure called the political stress indicator, which is actually higher now than it was before the Civil War. As a matter of fact, we're so close to a civil war that Ken Burns is already making the documentary.
My dearest Martha, how I miss you. I have spent 7 long months in marinara-stained sweatpants, unable to leave my house. I'm passing the hours worrying about undecided voters in Central Florida and doom scrolling on Twitter. Send nudes, eggplant emoji, peach emoji.
But if you're feeling hopeless, there might be another way to perk up. Experts say it may be more productive to focus on action, shifting the question from should I hope to what can I do? Now, what you can do is vote. And if you want to find out how, whether it's handing in your absentee ballot in person at this point, please, or voting early in person, or voting in person on Election Day, visit our website, betterknowaballot.com, where you can find out how to vote in your state. Do it quick. You only have 5 days left. We've got a great show for you tonight. As I promised, Julie Andrews is here. But when we come back, Biden leads in the polls. But what does that mean? 5 days. Stick around.